Welcome back. Unless you've been living under a rock or maybe in the Houston Rockets trophy cabinet, Kevin Durant just joined Houston in a trade so big, NASA's tracking it. What's your first reaction to this galactic move?
Honestly, I half expected the trade announcement to come with a Marvel-style end credit scene. 7 teams, 13 players. This deal has more moving parts than a Swiss watch, and I bet it was just as expensive.
No kidding. It's the NBA's answer to the Avengers assembling, except instead of saving the world, they're swapping draft picks. But why Houston? And why now?
Well, Houston finished second in the West last year, but fizzled in the playoffs faster than a soda left open. Adding Durant is like upgrading from instant ramen to a 5-star chef in your kitchen suddenly. Anything is possible.
Speaking of possibilities, let's dive into how this trade even happened. 7 teams. Even Game of Thrones alliances were less complicated. So, let's try to decode this massive trade. It's like the NBA tried speed dating and ended up married to everyone. Can you walk us through who got what without using a corkboard and red string?
Let's give it a shot. Houston gets Durant and Clint Capella, so it's basically Christmas in July for them. The Suns get a youth infusion 18-year-old Kamal Maluach, Dylan Brooks, and Jalen Green, plus a grab bag of picks and prospects from 4 other teams.
Meanwhile, Atlanta snags David Roddy and a draft pick swap. Brooklyn gets 2 future second-rounders, so they're basically hoarding for a rainy day, and the Warriors and Wolves get a taste of the action too. It's like Oprah. You get a player, and you get a pick.
Exactly. It's the NBA's version of Secret Santa, except everyone already knows who's getting socks and who's unwrapping a Lamborghini.
With all these players on the move, let's talk about the man in the middle, Kevin Durant. At 36, is he still the game changer Houston needs? Durant is a 2-time NBA champ, 15-time All-Star, and 4-time Olympic gold medalist. I mean, if hardware was calories, he'd be the size of a blimp. But how much does he have left in the tank?
Look at 36. Most of us are happy if we can find our keys. Durant, meanwhile, just became the 8th player ever to score 30, 0 career points. That's more buckets than a Home Depot on Black Friday.
And don't forget, he's still got that silky jumper and the wingspan of a family sedan. If anyone can age like fine wine, not box wineates, KD.
Absolutely. Plus, he's proven he can adapt. He went from being the centerpiece in OKC to a super team in Golden State, then a scoring machine in Brooklyn and Phoenix. Now, Houston's hoping he'll be their basketball Benjamin Button.
Speaking of adapting, what does Durant's arrival mean for Houston's existing roster and team chemistry? So Houston gets Durant and Capella, but loses Maluach, Brooks, and Green. That's like trading the cast of Stranger Things for Tom Hanks and Morgan Freeman star power. But is it enough?
It's a big shakeup. Capella returns to anchor the paint, while Durant brings scoring and leadership. The Rockets are betting that veteran savvy will mesh with their younger pieces, turning them from playoff extras to box office stars.
Interesting. And with Coach Ime Udoka at the helm, maybe he's got a secret recipe like the Colonel, but with more pick and rolls.
Exactly. Udoka's famous for tough defense and accountability. Now he's got a Hall of Famer, and a rim protector. Houston might finally play D like they mean it, instead of just waving politely as opponents drive by.
But with big names come big egos. Could this new mix backfire? Durant is no stranger to being the focal point, but he's walked into some high-pressure kitchens before. How will Houston manage the expectations and possible drama that comes with a megastar?
You know, it's like hosting Thanksgiving with your in-laws. Everyone's smiling, but one awkward comment and the gravy flies. The Rockets have to balance Durant's desire to win with integrating him into a new core quickly.
And let's not forget, Houston fans can be as demanding as toddlers in a candy store. If they don't see results by Christmas, we could see some fireworks.
True, but Durant has handled New York and Bay Area media. If he can survive Brooklyn's tabloids and Golden State's Twitter, Houston's expectations might feel like a warm-up act.
Speaking of survival, let's talk about the numbers. Just how unprecedented is a 7-team, 13-player trade? This deal shatters the old NBA record for biggest trade. Last year's Klay Thompson deal only involved 6 teams, which now looks almost quaint. Is the NBA turning into a trading card convention?
Honestly, at this rate, the next trade will involve half the league and a Starbucks gift card. but big trades like this are rare. Only 7 have ever involved more than 5 teams. This one sets a new bar for complexity and chaos.
Imagine being the guy in charge of updating all those contracts. That's a spreadsheet nightmare. It's like Excel meets Jumanji.
And don't forget the poor equipment managers. One day you're sewing Durant on a Suns jersey, the next you're washing Capella's socks Houston edition.
Beyond logistics, what are the real motivations for these teams to get involved in such a complicated swap? Let's dig into the why. For some teams, these trades are like spring cleaning, they offload contracts or chase draft picks. For others, it's all in for a title. Which camp do you think Houston falls into?
Houston's clearly in title or bust mode. When you trade for a 36-year-old legend, it's not for a 3-year rebuild. Meanwhile, teams like Brooklyn and Atlanta are stockpiling picks like squirrels before winter.
It's the NBA circle of life. Veterans chase rings, rebuilding teams hoard assets, and the Lakers, well, they just want to be in every trade rumor.
Exactly. The economics are wild. 2 expiring contracts, salary cap gymnastics, and the looming specter of luxury tax. Some teams are playing chess, others are playing hungry hippos.
But what's the ripple effect? Could this trade set a new precedent for future NBA deals? With this 17 blockbuster, are we looking at a future where trades are less about 2 GMs making a call and more about needing a United Nations summit to pull them off?
Honestly, we might see more of these mega deals. As the salary cap rises and teams get creative, GMs are basically playing 3D chess while fans try to keep up with a decoder ring and a pot of coffee.
Imagine a 10-team trade. By the end, half the league swap cities and the other half forgot what team they're on. The NBA app will need a GPS feature just to track your favorite players.
It's possible. Data analytics and player valuation models make it easier to find mutually beneficial deals, assuming everyone brings enough snacks for the trade call.
But stepping back, who are the big winners and losers in this particular trade? So, let's hand out some imaginary trophies. Who walks away from this trade with a new pep in their step? And who's left holding the participation ribbon?
Houston's the clear winner. Durant and Capella instantly up their game. The Suns get a youth movement, which could pay off long-term if their new prospects pan out. Atlanta and Brooklyn are in asset accumulation mode, so they're playing the long game.
And the rest? The Warriors and Timberwolves feel like the kids in the back seat on a family trip along for the ride, hoping someone brought snacks.
Hey, sometimes the smallest moves pay the biggest dividends. Remember when no one cared about that one throw-in player, and bam, they're an all-star in 3 years?
Absolutely. Let's look at some of those prospects, starting with Kaman Maluak, who's already making headlines at just 18. Kaman Maluak-Chaitin, South Sudanese, and apparently allergic to gravity. The Suns picked him at number 10, now he's part of this trade tornado. What makes him stand out?
Maluak is 7'2" with a wingspan that could double as a suspension bridge. Scouts say he blocks shots like he's swatting flies at a summer picnic, and he's got a developing jump shot. He could be the NBA's next unicorn.
If he keeps growing, the Suns may need to raise the arena roof. But the pressure on young players in these deals can be immense. Any chance he's fazed by all this?
He seems cool as ice. International prospects often have more pro experience by 18 than some college seniors. Plus, if he survives Phoenix summers, NBA pressure is a breeze.
Let's wrap up with the big question. What does this trade mean for the NBA's future, both on and off the court? So, as the dust settles, is this trade just another headliner? Does it mark a new era for the NBA?
It's a sign that the league is more dynamic and unpredictable than ever. Teams are willing to gamble big, and players have more power to shape their destinies. Plus, fans get non-stop drama, like a basketball version of The Bachelor.
Between superstars moving teams, record-setting trades, and rookie phenoms, the NBA's basically reality TV with better sneakers.
Exactly, and with social media amplifying every move, even a jersey change becomes a global event. The NBA might not be able to guarantee championships, but it can promise us one thing: never a dull moment.
Here's to more blockbuster trades, buzzer beaters, and hopefully fewer spreadsheets. Thanks for joining us on this whirlwind tour of Durant's Houston adventure.